If you've ever waited weeks for just a single package to clear customs, tracking it every single day as it just sits in some random warehouse, you definitely know the
Oh,
frustration.
yeah, it's absolute worst.
Right. So welcome to today's deep dive. We've got a stack of your sources here on international logistics, and our mission today is to figure out how FIFA pulls off what is basically, well, a legal magic trick. I mean, how do they move tons of VAR, the video assistant referee servers, broadcasting gear, smart goals, all of that into a host country without paying millions in tariffs
Yeah.
or waiting weeks in customs?
Yeah, because the sheer scale of moving that much equipment would just normally crash headfirst into standard import bureaucracy. It would make the tournament's timeline totally impossible.
All right.
So to get around this, organizers rely on a very specific piece of international law.
Okay, let's unpack this. How do you just legally bypass international customs?
Well, it comes down to the 1961 ATA Convention and the 1990 Istanbul Convention. Together, these treaties created what's called the ATA Carnet. You can think of it as like a passport for goods.
Wait, a passport for goods. So is this basically a diplomatic immunity badge for the heavy tech, like those VAR servers and fiber optic cable?
Exactly, yeah. It grants those items temporary tax-free entry for up to a year, usually under categories like professional equipment or scientific and pedagogic material.
Oh.
But the critical mechanism making this actually work is the financial guarantee. The issuing country's Chamber of Commerce acts as the guarantor.
Okay, so someone is still on the hook.
Right. If the gear doesn't eventually leave the host nation, that Chamber of Commerce is legally responsible for the massive tax bill.
Okay, so if the ATA Carnet only protects things that eventually leave the country, how on earth do they handle the massive local operations required to host? Because, I mean, they can't run a World Cup entirely out of a suitcase.
No, definitely not. That requires a completely different legal strategy. It's what FIFA calls mandatory governmental guarantees. So when a country agrees to host, they literally have to adapt their own rules. Look at the Mexico 2026 documents in your sources. The local Mexican tax and customs authorities, so the SAT and SHCP, they use Article 106 of their local customs law and special forms like Form A10 to make this happen.
So instead of just calling it a VIP lane, this sounds like they're temporarily rewiring the local tax code to slash processing times, right? From days down to mere hours.
Yeah, pretty much.
And they even waive income and import taxes for FIFA's local subsidiaries and approved providers.
They do. The underlying logic for the host government is basically a calculated bet. They forfeit the short-term tax revenue on those imports, banking on the idea that the massive tourism boom and international projection will, more than offset the loss.
Hold on, though. If governments are just waving through all this high-end tech tax-free, what's to stop these providers from just dumping it on the local market, like selling it for a massive profit the second the tournament ends?
Well, what's fascinating here is how authorities lock down that exact loophole using what they call a customs padlock.
A padlock?
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like checking out a highly valuable library book where the late fee is, like, millions of dollars.
That's a great way to put it. You either return the exact book or you face a catastrophic fine. Every single temporary import is tracked via strict serial numbers and inventories.
Oh, wow.
So they absolutely must be re-exported.
But wait, what if a massive stadium screen shorts out? Or, I don't know, a VAR monitor gets smashed? Do they really ship a box of trash back across the ocean just to satisfy a serial number check?
Actually, no. That introduces a process called controlled destruction.
Controlled destruction.
Yeah. If gear is broken and return freight costs just don't make sense, the equipment is literally destroyed under the direct supervision of official tax authorities.
You're kidding.
No. Legally speaking, once it's smashed right in front of them, it counts as returned. This saves FIFA the shipping costs while protecting them from those massive fines we talked about.
Wow. So a customs agent actually stands there watching someone smash a broken TV monitor with a hammer or something.
Basically.
But what about the stuff that is actually meant to stay and be sold? Like if you go and buy a jersey at the stadium, is that tax-free too?
No. That is where they draw a hard line. Retail merchandise, the jerseys, the hats, souvenirs, that's all subject to normal commercial taxes.
Okay, makes sense.
Yeah, local distributors absorb the tax burden even if the goods get expedited border clearance to avoid shortages. They completely separate the sporting logistics from the retail business.
Interesting. So what does this all mean for you? Well, the next time you sit down to watch a World Cup match, you'll know that the first major victory didn't actually happen on the pitch. It happened months ago at the customs border.
Yeah, it's a massive, unseen logistical win. And if we connect this to the bigger picture, it really raises an important question.
It's exactly. If a sports tournament can force entire nations to temporarily overhaul their bureaucracy so goods clear customs in hours instead of weeks, what does that reveal about the everyday trade barriers we just accept as normal?